Hello everyone, my name is Erin McCarrie, and I will be giving a presentation on Marcus Tullius Cicero, highlighting his first oration in a set of 4 against Lucius Sergius Catilina. To begin this presentation, we must first answer the question, who is Cicero? Cicero was a renowned statesman and Roman orator. In an infamous quote, he states, "A room without books is like a body without a soul." Cicero was born on January 3rd, 106 BC, and died December 7th, 43 BC. He was first a lawyer before becoming a Roman politician, and actually, on December 7th, he was beheaded. At the age of 43, Cicero won Roman consulship and became aware of a conspiracy from Roman politician Catiline. This is where he began his 4 orations to expose Catiline's true intentions. In this video, we will glimpse into Cicero's background as well as tensions between Cicero and Catiline.
Cicero was a citizen, but not Roman in the sense of being from the city of Rome, and everybody could tell. His detractors would call him a foreigner and an immigrant for most of his life. Supporting Cicero was a bit of a gamble for the conservatives. He had a reputation for being a constitutionalist and for being against corruption and bribery, but he was still an outsider. Would he respect the Senate's prerogatives? What they didn't know at the time and what we know now is that Cicero favored stability and order and peace above all else. They had all lived through this painful civil war, and Cicero believed that Rome's constitution was the best defense against another one. So the conservatives backed Cicero. It's not like they had much of a choice. The other 2 major candidates for consul that year were Catilina, aka Catiline, who was one of the leaders of the Reform faction, and Antonius, the uncle of Marcus Antonius, aka Mark Antony, Caesar's future right-hand man. Antonius was loosely aligned with the reformers, but in my opinion, just seemed like an ambitious idiot. More on him later. Cicero didn't have a lot of money to spend on this campaign, so he did something as old as politics itself. He attacked the character of his 2 opponents. He was particularly brutal when it came to Catilina. He accused him of deliberately stealing from non-Romans during Sulla's dictatorship, which is just another way of saying, hey, non-Roman citizens, I'm one of you, vote for me. He constantly reminded voters that his opponents were complicit in the dictatorship, while Cicero had kept his hands clean. And even more, he accused both of them of being close friends with a young Julius Caesar, who was running for praetor that year and was already a very polarizing figure. Cicero also fought hard for the support of the wealthy business class. Some of the more radical reformers were making them nervous, and they were open to supporting someone like Cicero, promising stability. Cicero won in a landslide. Antonius came second, and he would serve as Cicero's co-consul. He was less strongly associated with Sulla than Catilina was, which I think explains his win. Catilina was understandably upset by his 3rd place finish. He was arguably Rome's most prominent reformer. It was humiliating. He still had his seat in the Senate, but he immediately began preparing to run for consul again next year.
I will leave the link to this video in the description if you would like to follow it and watch the entire video from History Civalis. Their video is extremely informative of what was going on at this time between Catilina and Cicero. Cicero confronted Catilina publicly 4 times. In this presentation, we will examine his first oration. In Cicero's oration, he states, "You ought, O Catiline, long ago to have been led to execution by command of the council. That destruction which you have been long plotting against us ought to have already fallen on your own head." By crafting his argument in an emotional manner, he was able to attack Catilina at his core while exposing to the world his true intentions, and they were to overthrow the government. Coming out of a time of rebellion, Cicero yearned for peace and stability for Rome, whereas Catilina wanted nothing but chaos and destruction. Cicero's death is more impactful than just the loss of another noble scholar. On December 7th, in 43 BC, Mark Antony beheads Cicero. His death foreshadowed the end of the state that he saved as another revolution entered on the horizon. In a quote from Ancient History and Civilization, they state that Cicero's grisly death presaged yet a bigger revolution in the 1st century BCE, which began with a form of popular political power, even if not a democracy exactly, and ended with an autocrat established on the throne, and the Roman Empire under one-man rule. The SPQR is the state of Rome at this time, which is what began to fade and fizzle out after Cicero's death. If you travel to Rome today, they still have SPQR on their marble statues as well on the metal grates in their streets. So why is he important? Cicero has had an everlasting impact on our society. In a quote from History.com, they state that the Enlightenment thinkers, including John Locke, David Hume, Montesquieu, and Thomas Jefferson, all borrowed thoughts and turns of phrase from Cicero. The 1st century critic Quintilian said that Cicero was the name of not a man, but of eloquence itself. Cicero is most often compared to passionate speakers. His emotional diction impacted the way we speak, persuade, and present today. He is infamous for his pathos-fueled arguments. He is almost considered the father of pathos and emotion. I would like to thank you for watching my presentation on Marcus Tullius Cicero. I would also like to show you my references for this PowerPoint. I used a YouTube clip. I also referenced pages from the book Lend Me Your Ears by William Safire, and these are 2 more sources that I cited as I took quotes from them about Cicero. I would like to also persuade you and push you to check out these sites because they are very informative of not only Marcus Tullius Cicero and Lucius Sergius Catiline, but they are also very informative of what ancient Greece politics were like at the time. Thank you so much.